Hey, so I was researching a plant that I run across quite a bit in the high desert when I'm out. It's called the Desert Trumpet. Its Latin name is Eriogonum inflatum. And it's kind of a funky little thing where it's got this stalk and then it's got like a bulb that comes out like this and then like these spiky little things that come off the top of it. And you see it all over the place, but you don't realize if it had any significance to the people who had lived in the area before Westerners came in or not. So I was doing some reading on it and I found this really interesting tidbit about what it was actually used for. And it actually comes from the buckwheat family, so it's a huge family of plants. There's all kinds of different edible plants that come out of that family and stuff like that. But the really interesting thing is something that actually ties back to my past in Calgary when I was running this old tobacconist there. And so when I was reading, I discovered that they actually used the Desert Trumpet as a pipe. And what they would do is they'd actually break off the stalk, and then they would break off the little fiddly bits on the top here and everything like that. And then they would take it and they would cut the top off, and there you have your little pipe bowl. Obviously it doesn't resemble these guys, which are, classic, the root burl, the white heath tree from the Mediterranean and everything like that. And they're obviously a lot more delicate because, knock on wood, right? So you have to be really careful with these when you're doing it. And you also have to look around for a while to get one that actually has a hollow center in it so that it actually has draw. So I fashioned this little pipe out of that. And I'll show you how delicate these things are. This is one that wasn't hollow, and then I dropped a book on it. So you can see it just peels right off. It's almost like paper. So anyway, what I thought I would do today is do an experiment. They did use, what I read was they did use desert tobacco, a mixture of desert tobacco and desert mistletoe. So, and I'm not sure of all the ways they processed this stuff because desert mistletoe doesn't produce leaves. And also it's just berries. So I think they may have dried it and then crushed it or something like that and ground it into a fine powder or something and then combined it with the tobacco. The one thing about desert tobacco, though, that you should know is it is deemed toxic. There are alkaloids in it, so I wouldn't recommend actually trying to smoke desert tobacco on your own because there's no way to really judge how much is going to be lethal. So today we're just going to use a little blend of tobacco that I made. So what we're going to do to see if this actually works is just stick a little tobacco in there. I'm going to spill it all over the place. I'm probably going to set this thing on fire. Let's just try it and see. I need to pack it in, I think, close to the what would be the tenon on a traditional pipe, like that. And then almost reminds me of like one of those classic cigarette holders back in the day. I think it needs to be. It's a really loose draw, so you have to like kind of cram this stuff, I think, closer to the hole just to give it a little bit more resistance. So yeah, it works. It's pretty cool. Another discovery.